Imagine you served in the military, but you're retired now, and you just happen to be going out on a weekend and you had on, a veteran's t-shirt, you're with your family, you're with your friends. All of a sudden, a white person comes by and says, "Hey, nice shirt." You respond, "Thank you." Like, "Yeah, you look pretty nice." Then the white guy asks you, "So how long are you gonna be here?" And you be like, "What?" Now this conversation is starting to be a little ditty-ish. "Are you trying to clap my cheeks?" Damn. And so you like, "I'll be here for a minute." And he's like, "Yeah, because you were never in the military in the first place." You're like, hold on, bro. Check this out. I got my military ID, my veteran's ID. Let me show you. And before you could pull your wallet out, he snatched it. Oh my God. Now it's time to whoop some ass. And when you're about to get to whooping the ass, all of a sudden, rewind. Meet Harold Powell Senior. He's 68 years old and he's in a wheelchair. He lost one of his legs. I don't know when, but most likely during the military. He's been living in the Seattle area for a long time, and to get extra money, he goes and performs out on the Seattle waterfront. Now, the Seattle waterfront is a big place for tourists, a lot of seafood there. So people who understand that he's a veteran, they know him, or he'll come by and they'll give him money, all right? It's not uncommon for veterans to do stuff like this when they're looking for work or looking for cash. And this is exactly what happened on this particular day. Now, there's a white guy by the name of Gregory Tim. And Gregory Tim walks up to Harold Powell Senior. He's like, "Hey, nice military badge." And Harold Powell was like, "Thank you." And then things got interesting. From here, we can't really see what happens. We just see that white guy is pulling out a gun. And then after this, we hear, and then we hear this.
"Show me your ID. Pull a gun on me. Pull a gun on me." Put it away, sir. It's all right, everybody. I apologize. Pull a gun on me. I don't care if you pull a gun on me. We're not friends.
So you're seeing this white guy saying, "Hey man, he pulled the gun on me." In other words, so I had to shoot him. And if you can see in the clip, the older man is holding up his ID, like proving to him, and he has something in his hand. It looks like he had a gun himself. And that's the issue that people are talking about in the comments. The person goes, "He pulled a freaking gun on that guy." At that point, I don't give a flying rat's ass if you're in a wheelchair or not. You pull a gun on someone, you better be ready to accept the consequences. Doesn't have a damn thing to do with racial BS. This person goes, "But he did have a gun, right?" And so he's circling the fact that the guy in the wheelchair has a gun. Another individual says, "If the man in the wheelchair pulled a gun first and aimed it at the white man, then it's self-defense. I couldn't see the black man drawing a weapon, but it looks like he's holding something in his right hand when the camera zoomed in." This person goes, "Really? Blacks delete people in wheelchairs, old people, teenagers, toddlers, infants, women, and pets. What the F are you talking about? Wheelchair man pulled a gun on him, game over." So what it appears is that in this situation, that the black guy pulled a gun on the white guy and the white guy shot him in self-defense, right?
I was getting ready to leave, and a gentleman walked up to me. He says, "How long are you gonna be here?" I said, I'm wrapping up. I said, "Why?" He says, "Cause you're a fake veteran." I said, "No, I'm a veteran, man."
Powell says he reached into his bag to retrieve proof.
I says, "No, I got ID." He grabbed my belongings.
Police say Gregory Tim ripped off a military patch.
Okay, so now we see what happened. The white guy walks up to him and says, "Hey, how long are you gonna be here?" And then he's like, "Were you in the military?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll prove it to you." So before he could even show his ID, which he doesn't have to do, the white guy, Mr. Gregory Tim, ripped off the black man's military patch. Now let's see what happens next.
So he took my stuff away. And then people was like, hey, you know, because he was trying to take my stuff. So I had a knife, so I took my knife out.
Witnesses say Tim did not back down, and Powell took out what was later identified as a holstered airsoft gun. Tim then pulled a gun from his own backpack and shot Powell in the chest. Police and paramedics rushing in took Tim into custody and Powell to the hospital.
Because I said, I can't survive this. You know, that's what I thought.
But he did. After more than a week in the hospital, he's home and not focusing on the violence that almost cost him his life.
I'm living. Keep on living if you're living.
For that, he's thankful.
But what a day, you know. I'm just grateful, you know. I'm grateful I'm here.
Mr. Powell tries to defend himself. Even though he's in a wheelchair, he pulls out his knife. He has not a real gun, but he's trying to get his stuff back. And then the white guy shoots him. And we already heard what he was saying. Hey, you know, the guy, he pulled out a gun, you know, it's his fault, right? But let's hear more.
And has the suspect been charged in this case yet, Natalie?
Yes, charged with assault, and prosecutors say Gregory Tim cannot say it was self-defense because police believe he's the one that started this confrontation.
So let's go to the self-defense argument that a lot of those people were talking about. They were saying, hey, listen, the black guy was in the wheelchair, but that doesn't matter because he pulled the gun out. Well, according to the Seattle, Washington police, the other guy started the fight. So you can't start a fight with a person, then pull a gun out. You see, all of the white guys that were there in the comments, oh, I pulled a gun out, it's his fault. But look at what some of the commenters say. It's funny how the guy started the fight, then shot him. Why are you touching people's property? Like y'all just define self-defense, but if the guy shot the white guy for stealing, would you say it's justified? Oh! Ish like this happens so frequently, but it's always one-sided. No, the guy in the wheelchair shouldn't have went into his bag to get his knife, but still, why are you touching people's property? Yeah, exactly. Like, you are then stealing or robbing from somebody. And not only are you robbing from somebody, you're robbing from a person that is a war veteran, a person that was in the military. You're taking from them, and they're a veteran. Like, it's a part of their identity. They love being in the United States Army, right? Everybody was so quick to come to this white guy's defense. But wait, there's more.
In 2021, Tim was convicted of criminal mischief in Florida after ramming his van into a tent full of Trump supporters. No injuries there, though the volunteers were shaken up. President Trump even reacted to it, writing, quote, "Be careful, tough guys, who you play with." Tim explained his motive in court.
I honestly felt it was almost my duty to say something.
Why do you think it was your duty?
I thought it was somebody's duty, because the only reason that this administration was getting away with these atrocious crimes is because we were rolling over and taking it.
So now you have this same guy in 2021 ran his car or van into a Trump supporter's tent. And they're asking the guy, like, why did you do it? Why? I felt like I needed to say something. Why? I felt like I needed to do something about it.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the you think you is?
So you think that you have the audacity to go around making choices because you're God? What's wrong with you? So if you're not running your stuff into tents, then what are you doing? You're also going around asking people in the military, have they been in the military? It's fake or it's false. Again, I don't think that this guy is doing like a racist thing, like all together. I mean, this situation could be racist, but this guy clearly is delusional. Something is seriously wrong with this guy. And again, one of the reasons why you feel like you can shoot the guy is partly because he's black. Okay, well, the black guy pulled a gun on me after I robbed him, so it's okay, guys. Don't worry. He was telling all the nice white people out there in Washington, guys, it's okay. Look, he pulled a gun on me. It's his fault. But you started the fight. I'm starting to see so much of that in general, and whites are really getting emboldened now, man. It's been happening even during Biden, but it's just with the immigration situations. We knew that whites were hostile towards blacks anyway, and now the hostility is even getting worse. Some people are so crazy They believe that this could be justified when there is no way that you can do something like this and it be justified. Like, there is no way that that can make any sense at all. Luckily, this man didn't lose his life, and luckily they have footage and cameras around. But what if it was like 30 years ago, 20 years ago? Well, now it's just his word against yours. And if you have enough people out there that said that the black guy did, well, guess what? Well, know what that means? I'll tell you what it means. It means that not only do you get robbed, you defend yourself, and you get to get shot, and you get to go to jail because of what's going on. All right. So again, I'm just so happy that the man got the justice that, you know, he deserves. But guys, it's going to get worse from what I'm seeing. Like, I've been covering stuff like this, celebrity trending news, for 10 years. I'm seeing more racially motivated and more racially charged crimes against blacks now than ever before. They're making it to the stories more than ever before. And then there's video evidence proving that, yes, this is definitely racially charged. It shouldn't happen. It happened anyway. So all I can tell you guys is continue, if you can, to be careful. It's not that safe. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Yoshi Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.